back, ladies and gentlemen, on Nile Cruise. We are still joining Nile Cruise, and we have with us now a very exclusive singer that we decided to have her on show today. We have with us Manal Omar, and after which we have with us Dr. محمد الدين, an expert, an economic expert, and a member of the Consultative Council of Egyptian Scientists. Enjoy the singer, and then back again with Dr. محمد الدين.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise. Scientific research drives economic growth, innovation, and improved well-being. Yet science is underfunded and undervalued. Commitment to long-term investment in scientific research is crucial to keep our future economy strong and competitive. Scientific history is full of examples of researches ultimately leading to major economic gains many years later. Research is therefore a vital driver for wealth creation as well as improved medical treatment, quality of life, and a healthy and happy society. We'll be speaking more about this topic with Dr. Muhammad Nuruddin, economic expert and member of the Consultative Council of the Egyptian Scientists. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Welcome on our show, Dr. Muhammad.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
So let's start first with the first question. And in your opinion, what are the main assets that Egypt possesses regarding, scientific research?
It is the scientists themselves. They are covered. Some of them, they have left here, and they are controlling most of the scientists all over the world, and they are everywhere. You will be surprised to know that we have some scientists in Germany, Egyptian, and we have some scientists even in Japan, and USA, Canada, Australia, everywhere. I got the impression because of I live abroad that there is no any scientist left here, but I was wrong because every day the Egyptian we will find some new scientists born again.
I agree with you because we just had we were joined by Dr. Makhlouf who discovered this medicine to cure liver cancer, and we also in the last episode we had this young PhD, 22 years old doctor who had nanotechnology and his PhD, which
the youngest
was very young.
Actually, I've been talking to somebody about a theory, and he told me it's right. I told him our civilization goes back to thousands of years, and the Pharaoh, they were very much advanced in science, and I think maybe some genes still comes. He said yes. It will not die. So it will come to our children, and it will come among us with this ingenuity. So we are not alone. The main problem, actually, if you ask me, is to find money to spend on the scientific resources.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
The scientific research.
So please.
No, go ahead.
So how do you see the initiative launched by the Egyptian president under the slogan, learn, think, and create?
Not only me, all people who deal with scientists, they were very happy, all of them, because for a long time we were praying that one day somebody will come in Egypt and start think that scientists is very, and scientific research is very important to develop a country. It is not something extra, it's not something to show off, it's not something to say, to be proud of, to say, oh, we have that scientist and we have that. It's not that. It's actually, it's a kind of investment, if you know what I mean. It's something, if you use it, you will gain out of it, yes. Like any other project.
Dr. Muhammad, Egypt faces many economic challenges. Can scientific research be the answer to our problems?
Yes. Yes.
How can they be the answer?
I'll tell you one thing is very, very important. We know as a country that we have a lot of natural resources. That's well known. The question is, can a country which is rich in natural resource become advanced without scientific research? The answer is no, no matter how much you have. The other question is, can you become advanced without any kind of resource, a natural resource? The answer is yes. So that will give you or magnify the importance of
Natural resources.
of scientists and scientific research. And I have an example, if I
Can
can
you give
rush
the
and say
example,
who is South Korea. It's a small country, the population of 50 million person. They live in a very small area, is less than 100,000 kilometers. And most of the land it's like a mountain. There is nothing there. So they depended only on the scientific research. They get the raw material from outside, and they are on the economic map, on the scientific
One of the
map.
top, yes.
Everybody knows what is South Korea is.
That's a very good
And we
example.
have a good example, which is the giant China. They've got a lot of resources, and for years and years they were using only resources. And when they were very near to have a problem of food, people maybe will die of hunger, and there are a lot of poverty. Then they discover this, what do you call it, magic stick scientists. So
Yeah,
they went
this
into that
context-
heavily. And in the end, what they manage? A big giant. Now the people who is for long time control the scientists in the whole world, which is the old continent, Europe. They are complaining they cannot compete. And in the end, they dance with the China. They tell them, okay, this is my mark, produce it and give it to me back and sell it, and let us share the profit. That's what they end. So you will see a lot of country in Europe, they have a problem, economical problem. They have a higher rate of unemployment because they cannot compete. These people, they can produce with less cost. That is the key. And they can produce with the same quality. But some extra, it's the only country who does that. They can produce the same brand in different quality depending on the cost. So they make an open door for any businessman to go to them and to tell them, I want that, but it costs until now 1,000. Can you produce it for me for 100? And then they will tell him, oh, how minimum of 25. We will do it. Of course, the quality will be much worse. But this extra thing, they shut the door in front of everybody else, how to compete with them. Of course, they have other tiger and lion underneath them, like Malaysia, Indonesia. These people, they found their way also.
Yes.
And India is coming. India, the style of India is similar to the style of China. They have a lot of natural resources.
Yes.
Indonesia doesn't have much, but they created, when Dr. Mahathir Mohamad came to power, they created extra natural resource, because actually he was a little different to the other tigers in Asia. He was looking, this time when he started, the only giant, China was not there, the only giant that was around is Japan. So he wanted to do something, and of course the cobalt market was there, and the USA was there. He wanted to find a way and he was he was admiring this Japan way. But in the end, do you know how he gets his idea? Where he gets it from? You will be very surprised to know. He read the book, the history book of Egypt, and then he put his finger on the time of Muhammad Ali. He found a good idea Muhammad Ali has done, which can be done again in a little bit different. Send the people outside to Europe to bring scientists and bring them back. Make a training for the people who is working with their hand. Train them again, which is your resource, your human resource, and make something to bring you income, so you can spend on that. So instead of having rubber fish only, he introduced, he planted 1 million tree, palm oil tree. Later he controlled 40% of the trade of palm tree for a small country, so small. This country, when he came to power, 14 million person, and a very small area, 320 square kilometer. He got idea from us, and are we unable to find out some idea for ourselves. People are stealing our idea from our history. So
Today, how palm oils are very scarce and they're very resourceful of it, and how much does it cost and how much income does it get them due to this strategic move long time back?
yeah, it's all comes together. We are not imitating anybody. We have to find our own way. I will just explain. There is no style in the whole world to develop a country. One style is you are able to stand alone, and you don't need to go with somebody else, with another country. And another style is like the European. They get together in some kind of organization so they can go up. The style of the Asia, they can stand alone. And one country in whole Europe can stand alone, which is Germany. It's the quality of the people themselves. We are African and we are Arab. We need to come together. We are not from the style which is a country can stand alone. So Egypt, they need to go with some other country and come back together. Some kind of. We have the Kulissa in Africa,
yes,
but they started in the wrong way. They stand in the wrong foot. They started with 20 countries, and then after 35 years, the trade between these countries is 7%. That's very, very less, because they started with 20 people. They should have started like Europe, the European Union. They start with few countries, 3-4 countries. They concentrate, they get result. All the other countries around, they say what we do to join. So I am introducing this idea again, reintroducing it through the council to the people who is responsible in this country. We can use the Comissa. We concentrate on 3 or 4 countries, and we will get somewhere. And actually, the proposal I am putting to them.
This is what's happening by African countries today.
Yes.
You'll find several countries are uniting, developing mutual projects together in Western and Central Africa today.
Right. We have to do it. We are the oldest country in Africa.
You have to be part of it.
Yeah, but my idea is when you make this compact, each country has to aid to the other. It's very important. So I have choose what Dr. Jamal Himdan said about the genius of the place. Egypt itself, it has that. The place, it is Asia, Africa, going to Asia, Africa, and Europe. What can I add to that? I said, is it possible to have ports to the 5 continents? What will happen if we have? And then I discovered if we have ports in 5 continents, I add 2 more continents, which is South and North Africa of America. We will control the trade in the whole world. And I found this country. It's Congo, the democratic country of Congo. Congo, yes.
Really?
Yes. So I put in a proposal to go in compact with Congo and South and North Sudan and Ethiopia if they stop talking about Al Nahda Dam. And then
it's gonna be perfect.
A progress will happen.
Yes.
And that's not instead of Suez Canal. It's plus extra work.
That's
Dr.
an
Mohammed,
innovative idea.
Dr. Mohammed, I want to ask you a question. Do you detect a change in the government policies towards science and scientists?
Yes.
Especially that we suffered for years from the negligence of
Very
scientific
good question,
research.
and thank you for it.
Do you find any difference?
Yes. I don't say the government, I say the organization, the state. No, because person goes and come, the government they change. I say the policy of the state. Yes, there is a change in the policy of the state. When this started when they started with the constitution. For first time, they put a percentage towards the scientific research. Even I am not happy about it because they put a percentage of 1%. China, for example, they bought 2.5. Say South Korea, it's the highest in the whole world. They bought 5%. But it's a step in the right direction, and it's the right step. Why? If I can give you some small figure, it used to be 2 per 1,000. It's a fraction of 1%. Not only in Egypt, in the whole Arab country. They started by 2 per 1,000. 3 per thousand, 4 per thousand. The highest country, Arab country, is 7 per thousand. And that makes Dr. Zuhail say in one of his books, he had a figure, he said it will show what happened. They say every 1 million scientific paper in the global, there is 3 paper made by Arabic university. 3 per million. It's too much less. That indicate that people look at this scientific things like it's a luxury. Academic things. Do you do it or you don't do it, it doesn't matter, which is not right. And people have actually some heads, some brain in our region, they will think, oh, but we have to fight poverty. We don't have money to spend on the scientific research. The scientific research will fight for you the poverty, the unemployment, and all the things you do. Because the country which is done that, they are not rich. Yeah. Now Vietnam, they are spending on scientific research. Vietnam, which is USA, you know what they've done to them. And as well India, they spend too much and they are getting somewhere.
Yes.
So don't make excuse of I don't have enough resource, I don't have you have to take the step because that's the key to sort out your problem.
So today there is definitely a part out of the budget, the yearly budget for scientific research.
Yes.
How do you see this? Is it today, is it negligible with regards to what you're saying or the aspirations that should be done?
Yeah, it should be done, but you see there is one more things I need to put it through. Not everything is the government, because advanced country, who is responsible on finance the scientific research? It's 2 sections actually, private section and government. Government, it goes to the university and to, for example, the research for agriculture in the government section. But the private section has to spend also. The businessman, they should realize the scientific research, they will develop their production, whatever it is. They will sell more, they will make them better. They have to realize that. Until now, they look at it with doubt. If somebody came and tell him, I have a research which will make your factory produce more and more, he will switch off and then he will think, and he will ask a question, how much are you going to take? He's not listening how much he's going to gain. He's only looking for how much I'm going to spend. And this idea is wrong, but it has a solution. And I put it through, and I hope I will put it through our council to the higher authority. The Constitution has mentioned something marvelous. He say 1%, and he say the people who live outside the Egyptian, they should help in this point about the scientific research. They didn't say how. I thought, how that will come? How can we make that helpful? The people who live outside. Of course, the people who can help outside is the businessman and the scientist. So I thought, for many years, they say the marriage between money and authority, it makes corruption. Let us make a marriage between money and science. It will produce something very nice. So I am calling, I will call very soon for a big conference. It should be prepared, we should prepare for it carefully. We don't want to come and drink coffee and tea and go. By advertisement in advance, I need most of the businessmen outside Egyptian who is originally was Egyptian, who live outside, and most of the scientists also. We will invite them in 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
to listen to scientific
to come
research
here in Egypt with the support of the president, I hope, and 2 ministry, the Ministry of Labor and Immigration and the Ministry of Scientists. And I need actually the president to be kind enough to be present in that, because that will give him the right push. When they come here, we will answer one question. Who from you wants to join one scientist and do his project on the Egyptian soil? And the government here will support, will give the land. In installment or rent, whatever, it doesn't matter. But they have to show their support.
Yes.
and they will go like a small company where the scientists will be responsible on technicality and the management on that aspect, and the businessman will cover marketing and finance. But of course, that is a product need to be sold, whatever it is. It need to be sold, and your target is Egypt, and later the target will be Africa, and then the Arab country, or in the same time.
Right, finally, Dr. محمد نور الدين, economic expert and member of the Consultative Council of the Egyptian Scientists. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Can I say one word?
Yes.
Please.
Please, nowadays, many people think if I want something to be done, I have to go to the president.
Yeah.
When it will come the time when anybody can say I can go to the ministry, please, for all the minister, look to the man who's sitting underneath you. He is pushing the people away. And I'm sorry, I am a very straight man, and I don't talk any nonsense. I tell the truth. I am accustomed to that.
And all respect to you, Dr.
Thank you very
Mohammed,
much.
and thank you for having you on the show. The 7th Luxor International Painting Symposium is being held in collaboration with the Development Fund, the Culture, and Minister of Culture. A news conference has been held in the Opera House to cast light on the event. More details to come up here on Nile Cruise with our correspondent, nileTV's correspondent.